This meeting is being recorded.
So we're here with new Kingstonian manager, Spencer Knight. Spencer, congratulations on the role, but probably not the way you would have expected or wanted to get the role.
No, definitely not. And circumstances have meant that Lee has had to step down, which is really unfortunate for not only Lee, but for the football club in general and me on a personal note. But after having conversations with Lee and with the club, I decided that it was the right thing to do to try and maintain that continuity and continue what we've built, what we've started to build really over the first few months of the season and continue in the role. So I'm delighted to be the manager of such a prestigious football club, and hopefully we'll be able to kick on. And if circumstances change with Lee in the coming months, perhaps there might be an opportunity for him to come back. But certainly from my perspective, I wish Lee all the best in his personal life, and hopefully things can work out for the best for him and his family. Yeah,
we obviously all echo that. You mentioned kind of continuing the work that's been going on. Is that the way you see the role, continuing that rather than kind of starting afresh? How do you balance those two?
I think individually, everyone's got their own ideas as to way they would manage or work. But I think Lee and I were very much a partnership, so it's certainly not ripping up the playbook and starting totally from scratch. It's been difficult, well documented, obviously, that the previous regime left us with pretty much a mess and not many players. So clearly only 2 players were remaining from last season. Drastically change in financial circumstances at the club have meant that it's been a rebuild from scratch, and we hadn't finished. That was quite clear. So we certainly weren't the finished article. So I just need to continue that now and implement some small tweaks to the way we play, maybe that is just perhaps more my individual style than Lee's, but nothing really dramatically different. We just want to continue that work and try and get some fresh faces in where we can and improve and try and climb up the league, which is the ultimate aim.
You've obviously, while you were the cage assistant, you've managed at this level before for Wingate and Finchley, and despite obviously you doing superbly well with them, as I'm sure we all maybe know, I don't pay that much attention to Wingate and Finchley. I can't say I would be like, oh yeah, that's what a Spencer Knight team is. What would you call your brand of football, as it were? What does a Spencer Knight team look like?
Yeah, I think that's a classic interview question when you go and you go and interview for manager jobs. But I think ultimately you want a winning brand of football. Everyone wants to play the beautiful game, but you have to be realistic and pragmatic with the players at your disposal, the pitches that we play on at times. I certainly want a team that I like to watch. We're not going to be a long ball team or a team that goes back to front on a regular basis, because I don't want to watch that on a personal note, and hopefully the supporters feel the same. We'll try and play within our means, but it's a results driven business. So the way that I want our team to play is with an attacking threat, but at the same time I want us to be defensively solid. So you want perfection as a manager, but I think that the key for me is for people to watch my teams and think that they're well coached, think that there is a structure to it. It's not off the cuff. We do have that defensive stability, but going forward, we've got patterns that we work to and that we have been working on, and ultimately we've got end product, which is goals, which I think that's the thing that we really need to kick on with the team now. Is I think we generally are quite solid, but we get into good areas and we're not quite finishing off the chances. So that's the key for me in the next sort of few weeks, really, is to try and improve us in that area.
Yeah, you mentioned looking at possible squad additions. Presumably, it's at that end of the pitch that you're looking at.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully we'll have a couple of fresh faces in for Saturday. Yeah, obviously I can't name those at the moment, but we should have a couple of fresh faces into training tonight, and if all goes well, they'll be signed and over the line and in the squad for Saturday. So that's in the attacking area, and yeah, it's no secret that the players know that that's where we need to improve, and it's sometimes it's not just personnel. It's we need to. The players that we have need to make better decisions, and us as a coaching staff, we've got to coach them better as well. So it's a whole effort, but a couple of new faces might just ignite that, and that's what we're looking for. Primarily, I want a bit more pace in the team, and I think that's what we've lacked at times is that pace to be able to counter at times and just be able to get in behind teams. We've been quite predictable and easy to play against, which is something that I don't like.
In terms of faces that are in the squad, I ended up on the Huddersfield Town website yesterday, and maybe wasn't surprised to see Tyrese Owen getting a kind of trial at a higher level, but seeing Gabriel Ajucci there as well, credited with a goal in their beating. What can you tell us about those two ending up there this midweek?
So I can't tell you much about Gabriel because he'd already left us. I think Gabriel came in, and I think he's one of those lads who probably will look really good on a trial, and he looked really good in patches for us, but didn't have that consistent level of performance really to keep his place in the squad. He wanted to play more, so he moved on. But certainly in terms of Tyrese, we knew that he was going up there. That was why he wasn't available for us on Tuesday. I actually spoke with Tyrese yesterday, and he said it went well. So for Tyrese's perspective, I hope that he gets offered something. He's done brilliantly well for us and certainly deserves his chance at a higher level. It's a massive jump up to the Championship, obviously, but in terms of his physical ability and his technical ability, he can make that jump, I think. So hopefully they'll take a chance on him. But he's going to be in with us tonight, so we'll see how that goes. So I don't know whether he's going to be available for us on Saturday or not, but it will all depend on whether he gets an offer. But he's a good player and a good lad. So I do hope he can kick on, and it will be another success story for the football club.
Yeah. In terms of other additions, as a coaching staff, you were a team of 3. Now you're a team of 2. Are you planning on expanding that side?
Yes, definitely. So it's a key role to sort of backfilling my own role. And normally, sort of in working life, you've got a bit of an exit strategy, and you've got a plan in place. But this has happened quite quickly, so I've not managed to do that. So look out for that over the next week or so. I'll be looking to add to the team. Lee Cole, we've got is a brilliant first team coach, and will continue to do that role. And he's been a great addition to the club. So he'll continue in that role, and we'll add to that. And we've also got Emeraldo Brace, who does the analytics for us and helps out on a match day as well. So it will be the 3 maybe for now, but perhaps if we can get something done by Saturday, you might see a new face in the dugout.
Just reflecting back on your first game in charge on Tuesday, what did you learn from that?
It's interesting because I've watched it back now. So I know we spoke briefly after the game, and I felt at the time that it wasn't a terrible performance. There wasn't too much in the game. Interestingly, I saw something from their manager who commended the ground staff, which was a surprise to me, because I understand it's a difficult job, and I'm sure they work really hard, but it certainly wasn't a good surface, and it didn't really help.
Look, from my experience, he was never shy of criticising pitches in the past either, so I was a bit surprised by that as well.
Yeah, it was interesting, but look, everyone sees games differently, don't they? So that's fair enough. But I'm not certainly blaming the pitch for the reason that we lost the game. We conceded what I can only describe as a comedy own goal. Having watched that back, it beggars belief. And for that to be the first goal conceded under my reign is embarrassing, to say the least. But I think there were some positives. I certainly didn't put out the strongest team that we possibly had, which there's reasons behind that as well. I wanted to have a look at some things, look at different shapes and different players in different areas. So I think as an exercise, it was worthwhile. Of course, I would have liked to have won the game, but I think more importantly for me at this stage is to work out what our best team is going forward and work out whether some players are going to be part of it or not. And that I've got some answers there, which was key.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of players who didn't play on Tuesday, I guess two of the things that have been most excited about the club, really, in the youngsters, in Kwesi and Iker. How do you balance their role in the squad, in terms of their development and what they're bringing, but alongside, the needs of the team and also their development needs as well?
Yeah, it is a difficult one because they are, as you say, really exciting players. I've got a lot of time for both of them as individuals and people. They're really good lads. Iker played for the under-18s on Monday night. So he's one that we just got to manage his football as well. And if he had his way, he would play 90 minutes every day. But I think between myself and the under-18s team, we've got to make sure that we manage that, because he's someone that has got a really bright future at the club or elsewhere. So I think if he hadn't played the night before, I would have given him a start, Iker. And in terms of Kwesi, I like Kwesi a lot. Just trying to again manage his minutes and I think what we've seen at the moment is he's been better coming off the bench, which is not something that I want to continue, because no one wants to be an impact player, but I think he has been better when games have opened up a little bit, and when he started games, he's perhaps struggled a little bit. So we'll work with Quez on that going forward, but certainly both of them are real assets to the squad, and lads will be getting lots more minutes in the coming games.
Right. Well, we'll end the recording there. Good luck in the role, and we'll see you at Aveley on Saturday.
Yes, definitely. Thanks, James.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.